Welcome back to the Go to Go podcast, man. Episode 77, NFL Super Bowl preview, man. We're going to jump into our Super Bowl picks, predictions, talk about the game, media week going on currently out there in Vegas, as well as the Pro Bowl just concluded last week. I know I didn't tune into the actual thing, but did you?
Nah, not really. I mean, I caught some of the highlights, but it's a flag football game, so we're not missing much.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Warden with a nice little pick in the end zone, man. That's about all I was happy about. And shout out Njoku standing on business against Micah Parsons, man. That's about as much fun as I had that whole weekend. Regardless, man, Super Bowl underway, Las Vegas, man. Couldn't picture a better city to have the Super Bowl almost. It's Sin City, man. Gamble time. And the books, I know they're going crazy. MGM's going up big out there. DraftKings, all them, FanDuel, whatever you're rocking with, man. But Chiefs, Niners Super Bowl, we get a 2020 rematch. Last time in Miami. This time it'll be inside. NFL has guaranteed that the turf and the grass will not be of issue like it was last year. And then we remember, I think it was just before the playoffs, the Raiders grass, it looked almost dead. So I guess the grounds crew got to work, man, got it looking right. Hopefully, there's no turf questions coming into the Super Bowl, especially after last year. I mean, it's Pat Mahomes against the Niners this time, different quarterback under the helm, and Brock Purdy instead of Jimmy G this time. We pretty much, talk about those two guys in the same tier. Do you think, before we jump in, Brock Purdy's an upgrade from Jimmy G, that we've seen previously for the 49ers? Same thing, same boat. Is he better? Is he worse? What do you think?
I think Purdy's definitely an upgrade from Jimmy G. Like, just off rip, like, Jimmy Garoppolo was never in MVP talks, but like Brock Purdy was, where throughout multiple points of this season, he was like the MVP favorite. And, still, even though the season's done, he still has legit MVP consideration. But, yeah, Purdy brings so much more to the table. I think, the main thing you see is his athleticism. Jimmy Garoppolo was, if he didn't have, like, if all his reads weren't there and, the pocket collapsed, it's pretty much a dead play. It wasn't really athletic. Didn't really extend plays. Where we've seen Brock Purdy, multiple times throughout the season extend plays. He doesn't really make the big plays with his legs like we saw in the playoffs, but throughout the season he was able to create, manipulate the pocket and move around by just enough time to hit all of those weapons. So I think Brock Purdy definitely does add a little bit of playmaking and elevate that offense to a level that Jimmy G just doesn't. Jimmy G was more the classic, Kyle Shanahan. Well, who does he want? Just put somebody in there, the true game manager, make all the right reads. Don't do too much, just do what's asked of you. Whereas Brock Purdy can bring that, but he can also, bring a little creativity, a little playmaking. You saw in the playoffs, got his legs involved against the Packers and Lions. Some of the biggest plays he had in either of those games was him going out scrambling, made a couple crossbody throws, big plays down the field, a lot more aggressive than Jimmy G, I also say, which comes with, its pluses and negatives, because I think he is a little more turnover prone and his pocket awareness can be questionable at times, whereas Jimmy G was pretty solid. But regardless, I think it's Brock Purdy, even though I'm a Niners hater. I don't like the Niners at all, but I mean, he's a clear upgrade from Jimmy G. I don't think that's a close comparison.
Yeah, and the Niners, I know they're favorited in this game. The line off the top of your head?
Right now, I think I looked earlier, it's at 2. But I also heard, who was it? I think Nick Wright was talking about it earlier today on one of his shows. I guess the Niners have been favored in every single game they've played this year.
Yep.
And it's like an NFL record for 20 straight games they've been favored.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that, because pretty sure, the viral tweet was going around, and the quote tweet of the Niners, they posted, against all odds on their Twitter, and then they said you've literally been favored in all 20 games this year. The odds are with you. Like, I just thought it was pretty funny that you mentioned that being the only team ever to be favored in all 20 games, and their Twitter is talking about against all odds. I mean,
Yeah, I think both of these teams, the Chiefs maybe this season had a little more doubt, but I mean realistically, both of these teams are pretty much big favorites. If you want to look at the bigger picture with the Chiefs, they're a little dynasty that they have going on right now. They literally just won the Super Bowl last year. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he plays all the way to at least the AFC Championship every single time he starts. So are the Chiefs real underdogs right now? I guess in the sense, yeah, you can say they're underdogs in this game, but that playoff experience, that postseason experience that Mahomes and Reed have together at this point, I have no idea how they're underdogs in this game. And then you just mentioned the 49ers. They've been dominant so much throughout this season, but in the playoffs, they looked a little vulnerable, but regardless, they were still favored in all their games. So I think this is going to be two teams that they got to kind of create their own, narratives to get going. Like, like the Niners, like you said, they're going to tweet, we were against all odds. And the Chiefs are, they're dogs. They can't win on the road, this and that. Well, they're proving everyone wrong. So I think both teams are just kind of like scratching and clawing for a little extra motivation at this point.
Yeah, the against all odds thing, it made me scroll up to our preseason notes I have here and had the Niners, 11-6 winning that division, elite defense and offense. I did put quarterback question mark because they had who's going to be the quarterback for the Niners this year.
Well, which was legit coming into the season. Like, we only saw Brock Purdy for 1 year, not even a full season, just a couple starts, and he got injured. So we didn't know what he was, and they still had Trey Lance.
100%, and that's why. And then a mention of Javon Hargrave, and then Hufanga, the safety.
Oh, he got injured.
Yeah, he's not even playing. And then Javarius Ward, the DBs. And obviously, I highlighted Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner at the linebacker. But to pair with, the offense and stuff like that. But trying to look, man, I think I had Debo on my top 10 receivers heading into the year. Just trying to see CMC number 2 back. So, I mean, come on, man. Against all odds, I had these guys before the season started. So, I'm trying to, the little power rankings, had the 49ers second, man. So, Chiefs 1, Niners 2. Don't want to say I called the Super Bowl, but pretty script Super Bowl as well. So, let's dive into our picks. I know I'm gonna rock with the Chiefs. Who you got for the game, man?
The Chiefs. I mean, we've kind of been pretty much on the same page this entire playoff run. Well, I was.
We are. I mean, we have the same record.
Yeah.
In the playoffs and the pick'em. A couple different games, but we have the same record overall. Heading into this, and I mean, I talk about it, day and night. Someone asked me who you guys. What everyone asks, a little casual talk, man. And you just gonna bet against Mahomes? I think the last time I said that, he actually lost to Brady, but that was Brady in the Super Bowl.
That was pretty early to say bet against Mahomes.
No, I think and it was, it really was. But like, he's the next GOAT, bro.
Did he? He didn't even have a ring then, did he?
No, he did. That was 21.
The year after. Okay, yeah.
When they lost, when he was with the Bucks. Brady.
Yeah. No, that was 2020, wasn't it?
Nah, 2020 was Niners Chiefs. Because it was 1920, the Super Bowl.
Okay, no, we're the same year. Yeah. I'm just we saying two different, like the same season, just 2 different years.
Yeah. The 2020 Super Bowl, the 2019-2020 season. But yeah, I mean, same thing, man. No Tyreek Hill. Kind of want to see if they got odds on is Kadarius Toney going to be active or not, because I like to take part in that if that was an actual bet going on. I mean, you could bet on Gatorade color. You should be able to bet on Kadarius Toney soon up or not at this point.
Can, bro. The props and stuff they got is like ridiculous, bro. You can bet on so much stuff.
Coin flip, Anthem. What a time to be a degenerate, man. too late to buy a house.
Listen, it's no fluke that the Super Bowl is in Vegas now. Also, like the sports betting boom finally just happened, and now the Super Bowl just happens to be in Vegas. Like, come on, bro, this is strategically planned by the NFL. Bro.
I mean,
like,
the boom's been happening, but it's been magnified in Florida.
Just overall, because like it just became legal
in a couple of years.
of years, so like. Everyone's got a chance to...
The timing is right, bro.
Everyone's got a chance to get their feet wet. A lot of people are picking up. Like, I even told you, like, the other day, my mom's asked, like, trying to get signed up to sports betting. Like, you got everyone, all different demographics, trying to sports bet. So, I mean, it's big now, and now it's in Vegas. Like, it's the mecca of betting and gambling. So, yeah, they're going to be making a lot of money.
No, yeah. And I gotta see what the books are hitting on because I might change my bet. If the public's favoring the Chiefs over 70%, man, I'll tell you what, Vegas is not letting them win.
That is also the one thing, like, bro, the Chiefs are still. I feel like everybody I've asked, or just like you mentioned, talking about the game, everyone is taking the Chiefs. I have not heard one single person say they want the Niners to win. Yet the Niners are still favorites. Like, I don't know where this. Phantom San Fran money is coming from, but that is something that kind of got me, questioning. Well, regardless, I do still like the Chiefs, but it's like every single person every single person I know likes the Chiefs, but yet the Niners are still favored. I think the line moved to like 1 sometime, like over the last couple of days, but then it got bet back up to 2 for the 49ers. So I'm interested in where this line ends. Where do you think it ends, like right before it kick off?
It's gonna be tough, man, because I think it's got to be swayed. I actually just texted a little betting guru, not really a guru, but he has this little site where it tells you the public, the public opinion and the public bets. I want to see if I could get a look at that before the episode ends, bro, because he's been putting me on since the playoffs started and literally not one miss. So he told me, he said that under in the Chiefs game, definitely a lock, the Chiefs Ravens. And I said, yeah, I like that. And then he said, you got to take, Niners money line and the over. A lot of people were betting against that as well. And for last week, it worked. So I don't see a world with the Niners really. They're a better team, man, but it's Patrick Mahomes, bro. At the end of the day, like,
yeah, like I get they're the better team, but like in these like just you need one game, one win, like season on the line, like that position, the quarterback spot, Patrick Mahomes, he just becomes so much more valuable.
Yeah, and you even remember the Super Bowl he lost. It was him doing everything, and it looked like the Chiefs had the worst O-line of all time. And then you also mentioned that Bucs defense looked like the greatest front four of all time, which, I mean, it really did. So barring something like that, where I think you said in the last episode Mahomes hasn't been sacked in the playoffs, not once.
Once in the fourth quarter against the Ravens.
Okay.
But yeah.
But, I mean, even then, like, you're taking into account a bunch of different...
No turnovers, I believe, though. He doesn't have a turnover.
Yeah, he doesn't have a turnover. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Brock Purdy, obviously last year got hurt in that NFC Championship game. I mean, I know he won the divisional game, but still, now the Super Bowl, you're getting into territory where he's never been. And maybe... I had a realization. What if Brock Purdy ends up being, the Eli Manning of Patrick Mahomes' career? Like, for Brady losing to Eli twice in the Super Bowl, maybe Purdy's that guy. He'll be in Mahomes' script in his era of not being able to get over the hump. Just that one average of the pack quarterback. It seems to get the best of someone in the big moment, but...
Oh, I mean, he's got the weapons and supporting cast around him. I think, this 49ers team is a lot better than those Giants teams were, so I could definitely see it. I mean, I'm going to have to see it first to believe it, and, Purdy didn't even get his first win against Mahomes yet, so I don't even think he beat them in the regular season. Was he the quarterback when they played last year? I know the Chiefs and Niners played last season, but I think Jimmy G was still the starter at that point. Regardless, I mean that's a different topic for another day. We'll see if that becomes relevant next week after the Super Bowl. But I mean, if you want to push that narrative, I could definitely see it if they win in the way this game is set up. But the only thing I would say is the Giants were always like an underdog story, just barely making like the last wild card seed and then going on a run, whereas the 49ers are
they're overall stacked powerhouse.
Exactly. Like they're expected to win. Yeah, they're literally favorites in the Super Bowl.
Well, I'll tell you what, you were right, bro. The public. All right, so this is DraftKings only sports book. But 79% of the money gambled, money line and spread, is with the Chiefs. And money line, 67% is on the Chiefs' money line to win this game. So, I mean, you're looking at something pretty hefty.
Those numbers literally sound like 49ers fans and everyone else, bro.
Yeah. I mean, when the lines open, because it went from 2.5 to 2.
It opened at like 3.
According to DraftKings, they opened at 2.5. 89% of the money, the day the lines were released, 89% of money line bets were on the Chiefs. Goes down half a point. Now you got 67-33. Little fluctuation. We still got, today's Tuesday. We got, 4 or 5 days left.
The line's definitely going to move.
Before the Super Bowl. If you wanted to bet on that Gatorade color, 29% right now betting on the red at plus 350.
What's purple at?
Purple 9% plus 225. That line's got to change.
I feel like purple's a good color.
I think I was looking at some lines last year. I'll jump into it. Of the Gatorade color, I think
last year was it purple? I think it was last year, wasn't it?
It was a weird color, yeah.
Or like orange or some shit.
So Chiefs 2023 purple.
Yeah.
Rams had the blue, Bucks had the blue, Chiefs had orange in 20.
So I would say if you like the Chiefs, if you think the Chiefs win this game, I would bet purple because they want to keep it the same. They don't want to mess up their luck or whatever. But they did purple last year.
2020 was orange, so maybe in 21 they try to do orange again. Didn't work, and they didn't realize they got to switch up every year. They got to switch the color.
Maybe.
So red. It could be red. It could be blue.
I just don't like red, so I'll never bet on
red sucks, bro. Worst flavor out there, bro. I don't know who drinks that past 8 years old. Of course, the 2017 Patriots had none. Typical Bill Belichick.
What's green?
There is no green. You got purple, blue, orange, yellow, clear. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, you got clear at plus 1,000.
What if it's water?
I think that's clear.
Water.
I guess clear would be like the white frost glacier or water. Yeah.
So technically, like if you really, really want the odds, if it's like the glacier freeze or water, so you got two different kind of
cherry glacier.
Listen, there's two different kind of beverages it could be. Yeah, you still hit.
You got the numbers, bro, but it's like no Gatorade bath is plus 1,600. So I can't see a Super Bowl without a Gatorade bath, but
ask Belichick.
I mean, like I said, bro, it's the only one that didn't have a color. Even though they won so many Super Bowls and they did have years where they did the Gatorade bath, that was not one of them. But I mean, all right, Chiefs analytically looking at this game, man. Obviously, you got Travis Kelce. Hammer the anytime touchdown, hasn't failed in the Super Bowl. I think Jerick McKinnon's gonna be active for this game as well. Some depth to the backfield, a little pass catching threat. You got Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire's done a decent job stepping in that two back. Then you got Rashee Rice on the outside. I think the Niners really have to make an emphasis, obviously, on Kelce, but I think Rashee Rice is just the absolute X factor for this game. You let him. Have a good game where he gets 5-6 catches. I think that's where you start running into trouble. You could let the 1 or 2 deep balls to MVS go down the field. cool. But if you just have Travis Kelce, you have to worry about, and you lock down Rashee Rice. Who does Patrick Mahomes go to? And you're confident in your linebacker group to be able to stop the run. Obviously, the front four as well. The front seven confidently could shut down Isaiah Pacheco in that run game with no issue. Just being how good they are. So offensively, Patrick Mahomes limiting the turnovers. We talked about it. This is Super Bowl. You can't make mistakes. If you do, you got to bounce right back to it. But I think the Chiefs got to be really careful with the ball, considering the fact of how good that Niners defense is, especially at the front seven. And if they're able to limit Patrick Mahomes and his weapons, that's really where the Niners can make their bread and butter. And then you flip the script to the Niners offense. And I mean, we talked about it, I think, last week a little. Who do you want to touch the ball this possession? CMC. Okay, cool. Debo, Ayuk, George Kittle. And Kelce went ahead and called Kittle the best tight end in the league, man. Giving him his flowers he deserves. And obviously one of the best tight ends in the league as well. Too many weapons. You're not going to be able to slow down. Maybe get a couple stops. Force a mistake of that young Brock Purdy. Force a turnover. Because he's going to be the guy. You really don't expect CMC to make a fumble mistake. Obviously can happen, but it's really attacking Brock Purdy. Make him feel uncomfortable in that pocket. You mentioned his athleticism, being able to extend plays, but if you're able to get to him, force that pressure, get him on the run, and either bring him down or force him to throw the football away, that's where the Chiefs are going to, get their money's worth when it comes to slowing down this Niners offense, because even the Packers did it. The Lions did it for a little chunk. Obviously, the Lions defense nowhere near as good as that Chiefs defense this year. Nonetheless, they got right back to it in a hurry. Same thing against the Packers, man. You get one costly turnover, they capitalize offensively. Next drive, they come out, same thing, points on the board. That's the plays that really could swing a game, and the Niners can go get it in a hurry. So if you're the Chiefs, man, limit the turnovers, and then if you're the Niners, just get Brock Purdy going early. Shanahan, we know his play calling in the Super Bowl is questionable, very questionable, from 2017, which that should have been the year they actually dumped the Gatorade, now that I think about it, for that historic comeback. But, get Brock Purdy comfortable. Don't force him to do too much. Obviously, you're going to have to call on his number. Try to establish Christian McCaffrey early, and obviously the Chiefs are going to be looking for that, but get that play action set up for Brock Purdy. Get him a couple chances downfield. And then Ayuk, Debo, those guys are going to make stuff happen on the outside. And the Chiefs, L'Jarius Sneed, he's going to have a tough task. I don't know if he's going to be following all around, stick to one side of the field. Nonetheless, it's just going to be there's so many weapons on the Niners, man. It really is scary. I'm sitting here like, you can't bet against Mahomes. But you just look at this matchup on paper, and the Niners should just win without a problem. Head to toe, rosters deep, and the Chiefs are literally the total opposite now. Does Kadarius Toney make a Super Bowl appearance like he did last year? I don't know, but the Chiefs will need someone to step up outside Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. It's got to be one of those guys, whether it's 2-carry, 2-fumble McCole Hardman, MVS, he stepped up last week catching that deep ball. Will he step up this week? He's played in big games, being with Aaron Rodgers over there in Green Bay. Nothing as big as a Super Bowl, obviously, but he's got that playoff experience. Maybe another guy you could kind of lean on to make big plays like you did in the AFC Championship game.
I think this is going to be, well, first off, just talking about, the overall game, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I definitely could see it being like a 17-24 or, a 13-20 game. And last week, I kind of touched on, how the Chiefs were able to win that Ravens game. And I think this is going to be pretty much identical game plan that we're going to see from the Chiefs. And I think we see, game manager Patrick Mahomes where, I kind of said this last week. Like, we've seen Mahomes put the team on his back. We've seen him do the amazing. But in that Ravens game, we really saw him just, the most important thing was protect the ball and just be good enough. And I think we see that again this past week. The 49ers defense, I think it's been getting a little overhyped up to this point. We saw in the last 2 playoff games, the Detroit Lions, they came out and, when they were having success and they were up big, what was the main thing they were doing? What were they doing? They were running the ball. Jameson Williams had that big run. Jahmyr Gibbs was running all over him. Montgomery, he was having success. And then even in that Packers game where you saw Aaron Jones get to the edge a few times, they were able to, run the ball and get that play action going. And that's where that Green Bay offense had success against that Niners defense. Well, we saw what the Chiefs did last week against the Ravens, or 2 weeks ago at this point. Those first 2 opening drives were methodical. They went down. They controlled the ball. Quick screen passes. They were letting the ball, run. Patrick Mahomes just taking care of it. And I think they do that again. This 49ers defense has been very, very, iffy against the run later in the season and especially in the playoffs. And you got Isaiah Pacheco. He runs like a madman. You can make all the comparisons and how you want to say he runs, but regardless, he just runs hard, and it's going to be tough. And the main thing I think you touched on is those linebackers, man. They got Greenlaw and those guys, Fred Warner. They're going to have to stop the run. Now, if they're able to stop the run, what's coming out that play action right behind them, Travis Kelce. I think if I'm the 49ers, bro, what I'm doing is like on the outside, man on man. Like, we've seen what these perimeter weapons have been all season for the Chiefs. Like, at this point, you just have to be better than them. Like, you have to think you're better than them. You have to know you're better than them. And you just got to stack the box. But Andy Reid, with a week to prepare, we all know the record. He's lost 2 or 3 games coming off of a bye. One of the best coaches of all time. And he has the greatest weapon, arguably, of all time at his disposal in Patrick Mahomes. And I think we see a lot of Isaiah Pacheco. And then if you say Jerick McKinnon's going to play and he's healthy, I see he's mixed in too. But I think early and often the Chiefs are just going to run the ball and try to control the game because this 49ers defense, they're just made off of big plays and turnovers like you saw in the Green Bay game. Greenlaw, he had, 2 big interceptions, the one to seal it, and he got that early pick. And then against the Lions, what was the one play that changed the game? The fumble from Jahmyr Gibbs set the offense up, get quick points. So if the Chiefs are able to protect the ball and Patrick Mahomes is able to continue to do what he's doing and not turning it over and not giving the 49ers, a short field position, I think this offensively, they're too good. Like, up front, offensive line is getting a little healthier, and they've been playing a lot better in the playoffs. We said that was a weak point. Well, we mentioned he's only been sacked once this postseason. So against a really good pass rush, we talk about the 49ers, a little bit underwhelming, but they got the names, they got the guys, they got the talent. But against that O-line, it's going to be tough. So I just see a game where the Chiefs just control the ball. They just, they get those 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 4s to where they can run it on 3rd down and then you're 4th and short, 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. They just extend the lead. And this 49ers offense, it's a little different from when they're playing from behind. Although we saw the last 2 weeks, they were able to come back and win these games. And Purdy showed that he has the ability to play make, and create. But I just think it's different when you're playing a team like the Chiefs and what Patrick Mahomes is able to do. Like, I know they got shut out in the second half and they punted the ball 5 straight times, but that's because of their defense, which I didn't even touch on. And this Chiefs defense has been legit lights out. The pass rush, Karlaftis, he's starting to come alive, the young guy. And then Chris Jones is as dominant as ever. And that secondary, man, with McDuffie and Snead, you mentioned, those guys are physical. They can come up, make plays. It seemed like every time against that Ravens offense, when I look, Lamar's throwing the ball, and one of those corners is right in Zay Flowers' hips, or Rashad Bateman is being shadowed. Odell had a couple catches, but I don't think he had his first catch until the 4th quarter. Like, this Chiefs secondary is playing lockdown. Eric Reed, he's veteran safety. He's all over the field. So this Chiefs defense is fast and physical, and I think it's going to be a really good matchup against this 49ers offense, which is also very fast and physical. You got Ayuk and then Debo, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, all these guys that, are super athletes, but they're also known to, great blockers. They're physical. They'll get up in your face. So I think the 49ers offense versus the Chiefs defense is going to be the best matchup of the game. But when it comes to Chiefs offense and 49ers defense, I just think the Chiefs have that little edge. And then regardless, you talk about Mahomes, his experience, and as long as Travis Kelce is on that field, they literally just play backyard football, man. Like, if it's a 3-4 yards. Like Kelsey doesn't even run a route. Like I just think Mahomes is just like get open. Like they're just so connected. That chemistry is through the roof. They're on the same page. You see all these records. Travis Kelsey is breaking. He's up there with him and Jerry Rice are in terms of postseason success with yards, receptions, touchdowns, all this stuff. It's insane. So 3rd and short, or those gotta have it downs, those gotta have it plays. You know where Mahomes is going, but can you stop him? And so far, no one's been able to. And I just think we see the Chiefs, their offensive game plan, they stick to it. Unlike the Ravens we saw where you mentioned they only hand the ball off, like 6 times. I think the Chiefs run the ball maybe 20, 25 times. They just pound the rock, and then Mahomes takes his 1 or 2 deep shots down the field when he needs to MVS. And then you just see a bunch of screens and short crosses to Rashee Rice, Travis Kelsey, and those guys. And they do just enough to win this game offensively, and the defense has a good game. So I think the Chiefs get not a blowout, but a comfortable win, but it'll be a low-scoring game. I think we see 2 really good defenses come out, show how they game plan, but ultimately Patrick Mahomes just wills his team to the Super Bowl.
Like how you mentioned, the outside running that you're kind of expecting from Pacheco and the Chiefs, because, slow down a pass rush. It's 2 things, man. And outside zones, man, it's going to get those, DNs. They're going to be moving laterally. So, you get the play action going, hesitate a step. That's a step extra second you get to pass the ball down the field in those later, situations, 3rd, 4th quarter. So Pacheco's going to set that up. It also forces, you mentioned, bringing those linebackers down, get them from that second level, get them to the line of scrimmage, bite. Once again, that play action, now you got a chance to get him over the middle. And where does Kelsey make his money, man? It's over the middle. And you mentioned he's going to be open. Do we see a little bit that Megatron treatment on Travis Kelsey this week? We'll see, man. I wouldn't be mad.
I would.
You never know what the Niners are going to throw out, but it's just something to look out for at this point. Nonetheless, I like what you said about the outside running and the Chiefs trying to get Pacheco going that way. I think that'd be actually, probably should be the main focal point, as you mentioned. That's a great point, man. Maybe you need to put on a little red and white for KC this week.
Absolutely not.
Sideline sprinter right here.
Those are the days. But I think that, and then for the 49ers defensively, I definitely think I want to see how they hold up on the perimeter, because, if they're playing a lot of that, the past couple years, like, oh, how do you stop Mahomes? You play too high. You take away the deep ball. You run that shell defense. Like, that was when he had Tyreek Hill, the fastest person in the NFL. Now, when his number 1 target is, what's his name, Noah Gray or Rashee Rice, who's been solid, but he's still a rookie. Like, these aren't, top names. And then MVS, who catches 1 or 2 passes a game. Like, outside of Travis Kelsey, there is no legit threat offensively in terms of the passing game. So I think it'll be very interesting to see the coverage the 49ers come out in. Me personally, I would like to see them come out, challenge the Chiefs. Tell
Cover
Mahomes,
0?
like, not even cover 0, but stack the box, bring in, heavy personnel, be like, okay, we know we've had some trouble against the run. We know that's where our weakest part has been. Well, now we're going to stack the box, maybe bring in an extra down lineman, maybe an extra linebacker. Don't come out in nickel. They have, super fast linebackers, athletes that can run, read and react sideline to sideline. And I would just be like, on the outside, I'd be like, yo, y'all boys got no safety help. Don't get beat by MVS. Like, how hard can it be?
He's running straight.
Exactly. Like, Tre'Davious Ward, like, you play for this team. Like, you know what they want to do. Like, oh, you made the Pro Bowl. You guys are all pros. This secondary was such a good defense. Well, I'll challenge them. I say, let's go out and see it. We got to stop the run. That's what they want to do. You guys on the outside, you're going to have to make plays. And if they're able to do that, if the 49ers defense is able to take away that Chiefs run game, and now Mahomes has to rely on other players to make a play, then I think that's where it can get a little hairy for the Chiefs. Like, if it's 3rd and 14 and Travis Kelsey is being double covered, and then on the outside, you got your boy Kadarius Toney one-on-one downfield. I mean, first off, is he even going to line up on sides? And second of all, can you trust him to go down the field and make a play?
I think that's suits up. So
yeah,
I don't even think that's
I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. But if the 49ers come out and they play that zone defense, they're kind of like, we're just going to protect the big play and protect the end zone. That's not what this year's Chiefs are. So I think, that game plan will be very interesting defensively on that side of the ball and see how they plan to attack the Chiefs. Because if they do, I know Patrick Mahomes is not going to have a problem, taking a shot and throwing the ball downfield. That's what he does best, almost better than anyone in the league. But, does he have the people on the outside? Can he rely on those guys that we've mentioned to come up for him and make the big play? And so far in the playoffs, Rice, MVS made that big catch last week. They've come up, but when you have to rely on them multiple times to make multiple plays downfield, then we get to see where, those guys are. Because, let's not forget this offense, these receivers, these pass catchers, shit. Even Travis Kelce himself, this team led the league in drops. They were not looking good. Listen, as an Eagles fan, I can tell you, watching that perfect pass go right through MVS's hands as he killed Roby Coleman. It's tough. And I think Patrick Mahomes, if he's able to game manage, just, take the check down, take the dink and dunk, make it as easy as possible for his surrounding cast, then I don't see how the 49ers can beat him. So I think that's also going to be a big key part in this game is that perimeter play from the Niners defense and how they challenge these these Chiefs receivers, because like you mentioned, bro, I would double Kelce every single play and then just stack the box for the run. If we go out there and we get beat because MVS went for 10 for 170 and 3 touchdowns on us, bro, then he got it, bro. He deserves it.
It's gonna be 3 for 120 with
not
3
even
touchdowns.
It'll, bro. Yeah, exactly. So if you can hold MVS, that's the craziest part. MVS will have 1 for 27 and that's what the Chiefs want. We only want to throw to him once on a deep post. We only want to give him one opportunity. When he starts getting those 6, 7 targets. Now Noah Gray's getting 6, 7, 8 targets, and guys besides Travis Kelce are getting relied on. That's where I think they can be in trouble, because then Mahomes is back there. He's holding on to the ball, and that pass rush, like you mentioned, can definitely get going. So, yeah, I mentioned the 49ers offense and Chiefs defense will be a really fun matchup, but I think seeing how that secondary for San Fran challenges those perimeter players for the Chiefs is also going to be a very, very key, important role in terms of how this game comes out. So that would be something I look for, on the very first play when the Chiefs have the ball. What are those safeties doing? Do they have too high, or is there only one safety back there and they got that box stacked? And are those corners pressed up, being physical, playing for the run, helping out in the run? Because I personally think that's what they should do, and that's what they're going to need to do if they want to win this game.
Yeah, good thing I'm not the coach, because the inner gunslinger in me, I see one high safety, I say, you know what? MVS, fuck it, man. Just go deep, bro.
And ultimately, if that's what it comes down to, and that's how they're playing, that should be the game plan. But it's how much are you going to be able to rely on those guys and make the play, which is kind of where you don't want to be. Which sucks, because that's when Patrick Mahomes is at his best. That's when he's most exciting.
Go ahead and call that wasp.
Yeah, when he's playmaking, taking deep shots downfield. But Travis Kelce isn't, a couple years younger, where he used to be legit, deep threat, stretching the field, a lot more athletic, and, Tyreek Hill. So we've seen an evolution of Patrick Mahomes, and, maybe he gets back to it this Super Bowl. I don't know, but it should be a good game.
I think the Kadarius Toney script, it's in there. If he ever wants to, reestablish his name, if he suits up for this game, and then Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid look at each other and say, do you want to run Wasp, the Tyreek Hill play they ran in 2020, where he hit the low corner for that big chunk play that basically won the Chiefs the game, put the game on ice. Mm-hmm. Kadarius Toney steps into that Tyreek Hill role, catches that ball. I think that's the only way he could save his name for the 2024 season coming up. So It's just in the KT script, man. I don't know. I don't make the rules.
Who knows, bro? I mean,
yeah, he's not even gonna suit. I'm just saying, bro. That's the one way he could do it, but.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, he has the greatest moment of his career in his Super Bowl last year against my
Philly,
Eagles. Like, it just only makes sense.
I mean, bro, they were 1 yard.
Took that punt back, scored touchdowns.
Okay,
regardless, like, can't guard motion. It's sick, bro.
Anyways, man,
And can't run motion on offense either. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, bro.
Shout out Kellen Moore, man.
It's a lot of pain, man. I know what you're feeling. Hopefully, the Chiefs lose on a helmet-to-helmet play where they fumble in the end zone. That's how I feel, personally. But
hopefully this game's a draw, 0-0, and just never finishes.
Double OT. You think in double OT they'd call like a college rule where they just...
Yeah.
There's got to be some emergency.
Gentleman's agreement to just end it in a tie. Quadruple OT, 0-0. No one wants to play anymore. No one's hurt. There's no ring. Just an asterisk on this season. And
quadruple OT is crazy.
Yeah, bro. Just put an asterisk on the season and just go to next year. Neither team wins.
Wait, which one's worse? The COVID title or this? It'd be that, but
yeah.
The Vegas Sphere lit up, man. I saw it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw they had the helmets.
It looked dope, man. Like it looked like an actual helmet out there. So shout out to Vegas, the Vegas Sphere, whatever they got going on in those events. Cool little attraction. Sin City, man. Can only imagine what it is to stay out there right now. Time like this, I know them Super Bowl suites, 2.5 mil. I will say, bro, I don't even want the booth, bro. Just give me the buffet. I don't know if you saw the buffet. I didn't send it to you, bro, but they had them crab legs, barbecue. I mean, everything you could imagine. 2.5 for a ticket, bro. Them crab legs better be giving me bets to make money on. Insane, but it's crazy when CMC and them, they say they don't want to buy that, bro. It's too expensive for them.
Oh, he's a running back, so
he is, bro. But I'm pretty sure
he's the highest paid. But
like,
yeah, I think she's like a model.
Model, yeah. She getting bread.
They got
bro.
bread,
like,
regardless.
I'm saying, bro. Like, if they don't want to, bro, I don't even know. But
I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Are you gonna be watching the halftime performance? Because I might just go lay in a dark room rather than watch Usher serenade America.
Usher, shout out Usher, man. He got a couple of hits, but I mean, I don't really care about a halftime performance. I mean, I don't even really care about this game generally. Like, I'll be tuned in and out, but all
right, bro. It's literally the Super Bowl, bro. Tuned in and out is,
bro. Like, I know, fam. The team that beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year, and then the team that has literally been shitting on us the entire year, bro. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna be like, keeping up and tuned in, but it's not like I'm gonna be, not like that one time where I'm not gonna be, betting on what the next play is or if it's gonna be a first down or not, or if this coach is gonna call a timeout. Like, yeah, I'm not tuned in like that. No.
Dollar bets. That was crazy, man.
I think that was the Broncos Panthers Super Bowl, 2015.
You talking about, like, bro?
Yeah.
All right, bro. Dollar bets.
Yeah, man.
On the block, man. That's for sure.
Pass or run? What's your dollar bet?
Go ahead, hit my line. I'll do a little bet with you. I know your game's gonna be a little delayed on the stream, bro. So. Easy bread, man. You got any, last comments, topics, takes,
no,
game notes?
I'm going to say I like Kansas City. I'm going to go 24-17, Kansas City.
24-17?
Yeah.
I'm not even. The over-under, what did I say, 45?
I think 45 and a half, 47 and a half.
I kind of like that score. I'm gonna go 27. Can't go 20. Let's go 17-14 Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm gonna rock with the 17-14 because I'm confident in that under right now. I'm not sure if there's a line for it. What the public's been, but man, Chiefs under has really been a lock all year long, so I'm gonna rock with it. Chiefs under. Niners defense, they make a couple plays. Low scoring, Pat Mahomes, third championship. in his career going for it right now. And they'll be, in the conversation with. Well, not he's already in the conversation, but he'll be up there. If he gets 4, is he better than Brady already? We'll see.
Listen, if he wins this, he's like on pace. So, and it won't take 20 years.
Yeah. Brady played 40. So he's 40 something. I don't think Mahomes is gonna have that longevity like Brady did. Either way, 2 quarterbacks that I truly dislike from the bottom of my heart, but 2 goats. One more than the other I hate a little bit more, but I'm starting to sound like you with the Super Bowl. Go to go. Episode 77, man. Super Bowl.
Well, listen, the Eagles beat Brady, so I don't hate him that much.
Shut up, man. Brandon Graham, bro. He's my Philly hero. That's all I know. Philly. They don't have to lube and oil the poles up, bro, like they did that one year to stop the city from burning down, and it still got burnt down. So, shout out to the class act, Philly, man. Never cease to amaze, bro.
I don't claim, the people or the city, just the team.
Just the Eagles. All right.
I've never even been to Philly, but
Fake fan, man. Go to go.
Facts, yeah.
Episode 77. Go to go pod, TikTok, like, comment, share. Go to go YouTube, Apple, Spotify. All that, man. Y'all can tune in. And until next week, we got the All-Star break coming up for the NBA. Obviously, we'll jump in to cover that starting next week. Hoop season, Super Bowl recap. And until next week, man, peace.